In a world much like yours, there was a normal man, an average man, who was bitten by an innovative bug. From that day forth, he was known as Innovation Man.
Innovation.
When young minds are bored and need new ideas,
Hero! Oops, I need a hero.
allow Innovation Man to save the
Allow
day.
us to innovate.
Wow!
Innovation Man, helping you think critically and creatively. Coming to a theater near you soon.
Innovators, good day. Today we're going to make a bunch of awesome stuff to play one game using materials that you have at home. We're going to be creating a bean toss game. We're going to use an old pair of socks and a cardboard box, and we're going to fill up those socks with little bits of rice in order to create our little bean bags. It's easy, fun, and something you can try at home. Let's take a look at the materials. You're going to need one sock, you'll need a stapler, you'll need some rice, or you can use some dry beans or even small plastic beans. You'll need a pair of scissors, some tape, and an old cardboard box. We have all of our materials ready, so let's get to work. Now, one thing, if you don't have a pair of socks that you're willing to cut up for your little bean bags, what you can do is just take a sandwich bag or a Ziploc bag and a little bit of tape, and you can create little pouches. Today, we'll be working with socks, so try to find a pair and we'll get working. All right, so first step is pulling out your old sock. You're going to want to cut your sock into 3 pieces. One piece can be the end of the sock. The second piece can be the middle. And you can cut slowly. Perfect. And the last segment, you can just cut off the top of the sock. Now, depending on the size of your sock, you may need more than one sock, but you want to have 3 little sections. These are going to be the little bean sacks. Now, each one of my little pouches is going to be filled with either rice or dry beans or beads, and you're going to need to seal each end. Now, I'm just using a stapler to close off each end of my pouches. Now, you can do something else. If you feel comfortable using a needle and thread, or you have an adult that can help you, you can also sew these ends. But a stapler will work just fine. So, I seal one end, and then I'm going to open up the other end of my little pouch, and I'm going to fill it up with some rice. Now, you might make a little bit of a mess, so just be mindful, and you'll want to fill it up about halfway. All right, that looks about good. Excellent. Now, I'm going to fold the other end over, and I'm going to use my stapler to seal it up. All right. And again, remember, you can sew these ends if you prefer to do that. And my last 2 staples. Now let's give it a toss. Perfect. So let's take a look from another angle. Now I'm going to fill up the end of my sock. Now this is only going to require for me to seal one end. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up my little pouch about halfway. And remember, once I seal it, it's going to create a perfect little beanbag pouch. And these are going to be used in our game. Alright. That looks good, so I'll fold over the end, like so. And I'm going to take my stapler, and I'm going to seal it, just to make sure that that rice does not spill. Now remember, you can also sew your ends shut. So again, if you feel comfortable or have somebody helping you, you can do that as well. So I'm going to fill up my last little pouch, but let's speed this up. Alright, so my last pouch, I'll use the rest of my rice. And one thing that I'd like to remind you of is once you're done, you got to be responsible and make sure that you clean up your mess. So I'm going to seal this last little pouch up. I now have 3 little beanbag pouches, and I'm going to clean up. Now, innovators, today I'm using a cardboard box in order to create the game board where we'll be tossing our little bean sacks. If you don't have a cardboard box, use your imagination. You can use an old pair of shoes, a small paper bag, anything that you can toss your small bean sacks into. If you have a cardboard box, great. And please ask an adult to help you if you're going to be using a box cutter in order to create a hole in it. So let's get to work. Awesome. So I have my 3 beanbag pouches, my little sacks, which I'm going to be tossing into the game board. And I'm going to take this old box that I found, and this is what I'll make the game board out of. So I'm going to seal one end of it using some tape. And this is some packaging tape. That looks great. And I just want to make sure that the box is closed. I don't want it opening up while I play. So that looks perfect. Now, I'm going to create one hole on top of my box. Remember, you can design your game board to have more than one hole, but I'm going to be using a box cutter to create this hole. And students, please remember, you will need the help of an adult if you are going to use a box cutter. Now, depending on the type of box that you're using, you may also be able to use a pair of scissors. In my case, I will be needing to use the box cutter, or you can use an X-Acto knife, but please use the help of an adult. Now, with the right tool and the right supervision, go ahead and create the holes for your game board. Now, I'm going to speed it up, but as you can see, I'm going to create one hole on my box. And I want the hole to be big enough for my beanbag sacks to go in. So this looks right. Perfect. Now let's check it out. Perfect. They go right in. All right, innovators. So we have all of our game elements. We have our box and we have all of our little bean bags. Now let's set it up so we can actually play. So I'm going to put my box down. If needed, you can put some weights inside of the box to hold it down. And I am going to try this game about 10 feet away. Let's see how I do. First one, ooh, close. Second one, oh, no go. And my last one, hey, nice. But with a lot of practice, buckets. And more buckets. And buckets. Innovators, awesome work. Thanks for trying out today's project. Like I said, we're using materials that you have at home to create a really awesome game that you can play with your family. So remember to always think creatively and to think critically, and have fun while you're doing it.